What really matters most? Your image or your soul? What do you care about? Your money or your life? What's actually the best, making it or losing? If you pour all your energy into one thing, you are sure to harm the rest of your being. And if you invest it all in profit, you will end up losing the whole lot. If you're not always wanting, you can be at peace. And if you're not always trying to be someone, you can be who you really are and go the whole way. Do we actually know what's important to us in our life? And if we do, why do we contradict it all the time? That's essentially the question that this verse is asking. And it does it in a few very obvious ways to open the verse, which is not so uncommon with the Tao. And sometimes it slams you with something sort of left turn feeling at the end of the verse. But it does often open up with a couple of very obvious, hey, this is what this verse is about. And then it sort of layers on and layers on. So I'm not going to focus too much on the beginning. I think that's pretty obvious. One thing that struck me as being interesting was this idea of if you pour all your energy into one thing, you are sure to harm the rest of your being. How often do we put so much pressure on our career, on our family life, on our relationships, and it takes over everything else, and it clouds our judgment and our perception of all the other things in our life. Life is multifaceted, and not only is change ever present, but change from all of these many, many different aspects of life. And so be very cautious if you find yourself really over prioritizing or putting too much weight on just one aspect or even just a couple of aspects of your life, and realize there are multitudes, if not dozens, of aspects of your life where you can spread some of that out. In a world that seemingly more and more rewards specialists, don't be afraid to be a generalist and try different things and put different eggs in different baskets. That's okay. And the other thing that stood out to me was if you're not always wanting, you can be at peace. This reminded me of something from a Derek Sivers book, which I'm going to really poorly summarize. I tried to recount, but he basically says something along the lines of, as long as you are wanting things to be different, you're always going to be unhappy, because it's your want of things to not be the way they are, or your unwillingness to accept things as they are, that causes you the most suffering. And just be clear, that isn't to say that if you're drawn to change something that you shouldn't pursue that desire to change something, but you must first accept something as being true or real before you can even effectively go and try and change it. If you're just kind of pretending that it's not what it is, and that you're just saying it shouldn't be that way, and so I'm not going to accept it, I think what you're actually saying is, I am accepting it, but I want to change it and make it different. So maybe consider at least reframing how you think of that in your mind, because you may take on some additional unnecessary suffering and lack of peace because you frame it in a way that says to yourself, I can't accept that this is the way things are. You have to. If you want to change anything or have any impact in the world, you have to say, okay, this is how things really are. And now I'm going to go change it. And here's how. And it reminds me of one more little tidbit that I'll relay. This came from some person, I think in Phoenix, who was doing like a morning radio show, and he had Mother Teresa on, and he asked her if she was going to go to a march that was protesting the war. It was a march against the war. And she said, no, but if you have a march for peace, I will go to that. And here you can sort of see it turned on its head in a way that she accepts that there's war. She wants to go to something that is for something, though. She wants to march in solidarity with the cause of the thing that she's trying to change, not against the thing that she doesn't want to be happening. And so here she's putting her energy into the thing that she wants to be, not putting her energy into the thing that she doesn't want to be. So again, it's a slight reframing that if you want to change, focus on the change that you want to occur, not feeding the thing that you don't want to be the case with a bunch of your energy by railing against it and protesting. Accept it, say that's what it is, and I'm going to go change it. And in that way, always sink your energy into being for something.